In this video, we're still working with our horrible design, but we want to go ahead and talk about exporting. And so exporting to a video is pretty much very simple. You just go to export here, choose one of the options and hit the export option. You can specify the number of frames. Now, in general, what's going to happen is it's going to print whatever it sees on the stage here, except for small things like I have this image here selected. Notice there's a little blue outline to indicate, that I have controls over it and everything. Those things are not going to print or export when you click on the export option. Otherwise, it's going to export what it sees on the stage. Now, if you're seeing something a little funky, you might want to go ahead and rewind and play it again, let it kind of reinstantiate and everything. And you might want to test it here. There's a couple of things that I like to point out when you're exporting a video. You might want to come up here to, if you have a video background, and click on show. And what that's going to do is that's going to make that last frame, show here. Otherwise, it's going to be white when you get to that last frame. So otherwise, it's simply going to export and specifying your file format, hitting export. Now, what'll happen is it'll process the timeline first, and this can take a little while depending on the contents of your video. And then what it's actually doing is it's creating a PNG sequence temporarily. And so it's going frame by frame and creating a temporary PNG sequence on your hard drive in a temporary file. And then it's going to basically, it's going to use a utility called FFmpeg to convert that to a video. And so that process takes a little bit of time, depending again on the content of your video. Once it finishes processing the timeline, then you can give it a file name. It's important to make sure that the file extension is there. So if you're exporting an MP4 file, you want to go ahead and have that. I'm going to cancel this. So we'll come back here. If you have an MP4 file, you want to hit .mp4. If you want an .webm at QuickTime, is it going to be .mov, and PNG, of course, is going to be PNG. Otherwise, after you do that, if you don't have the extension, it may throw an error, particularly on Windows. Besides that, though, it's pretty straightforward. By the way, my computer is running slow because I was also running some other things in the background as well. It depends on the speed of your computer, how fast an export is. Some content exports much faster than others. So that's pretty much it for exporting from EasyVideoLab.